I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and a special guest is going to join me in a second. So now I'm better prepared. We're starting the stream on time, sort of, kind of. At least we're starting before the actual game starts, so we will have time to talk about the context of the championship, to revise the rules, and in the meantime, my special guest will have time to join. Hi, Edgar. Good to see you already here. So, how did I do this? Yes, so round 2 group stage. Taiwan is playing against Chile. Actually, technically, Chile is playing against Taiwan because Chile is the home team nominally. Although there isn't a real difference between the home team and the away team, just because both everything's happening online. However, the only thing that's different is that the home team has the responsibility of pressing the rematch button, and that's really all there is to it. So we're gonna see 5 duels, each in the best of 3 games. You can see all the 5 players on the screen. So Tito Arte, actually I'm gonna correct Townsend to Townsend for, sorry about the typo. For Chile, Jorimeya Diego Acevedo, and Maria Fernanda. They're actually, it's quite easy to remember the players' names because, many of them have names, have screen names that are similar to their names. I like this approach. And from Team Taiwan, they're taking this kind of online approach. So they are a team that, to the best of my knowledge, don't really know each other personally. So they just use their screen names. They have online selections, online practice, kind of this kind of approach. And they brought quite a strong lineup. So even though their captain, Steven Chang, is not playing today, everybody's above 500 rated. So an expert player, we have Imlisa Tseng, and you can see all the other screen names on your screen. And so I thought long about which duel to follow, and I think we're gonna start with, as you can see, Vainiria, so Horim Meya versus Hotley. Hotley, just because these players are both strong, above 600 rated, and their ratings are very similar, I expect a tight match. Also, an interesting one to follow would be Diego Acevedo versus Sakura Kim. The sort of Diego being by far the strongest player for Chile, and I generally like watching him play. Alright, see, hi Raf. So we are going to see the match start in just a couple of minutes. And then I don't really have much to talk about in the next couple of minutes. Well, maybe I can vent a little bit. So today is a day that's saturated with Carcassonne for me. We just had a very difficult match with China, and it all came down to a coin flip. And so I had the decider game against the player with the screen name Mitao Cat. And basically it all came down to one tile, and then I didn't get it. And so I think I lost the game by 2 points, and we lost the match 2-3. So we won 7 games, and our opponents won 8 games. So Team China actually played very well, and they are indeed very strong and definitely a contender to enter the playoffs. And just I'm so silly. So I forgot the most important thing because I'm announcing a giveaway. So to make things more interesting, we're doing a prediction game. So if you can predict who is going to win the championship, like not this game, but the championship overall, I'm gonna send this newest edition, like 20th anniversary edition Carcassonne to the address of your choosing, if you have this. And the rules are as follows. So just comment on any of my videos, any of my streams, with the team that you think will win, the team that you think will take second place, third place, and fourth place. So the first 4 teams. And basically the most precise predictor is gonna win the game. And the idea is, for example, if there will be 2 of our viewers who guess the champion correctly, then the ones who guess then the player who gets, no, not the player, the viewer who gets the vice champion correct, then they will be considered the winner. And if there's a complete tie, like for example, if 2 of you are able to precisely predict who's going to win the championship, who's going to take second, third, and fourth place, then the final tiebreaker will be how early you were able to lock your prediction. So I'm taking predictions starting from now and until the end of the group stage. So maybe you want to wait until the end of the group stage to see how many teams actually remain. But on the other hand, maybe you want to make your prediction earlier so that you have that tiebreaker. Anyway, I just thought that it might be interesting, and yeah, so I have this special edition Carcassonne. Alrighty, let's start watching the match. I assume some tiles have been placed. Oh, interesting, like the Chile and Taiwan logos have similar colors and they're quite similar. I assume probably the flags have similar colors as well. And we're just in time for the starting tile standard move at the start. Well, so. And now we expect, of course, Hotly to take 3 points over here, or actually take 2 points over here, which is fine. I even maybe like that move a little bit more, but no, both are doable for sure. Anyway, so now we're gonna see a big, yeah, precisely because of that. So now Vanira is gonna get 3 points, and then we're gonna see a big city brewing, and then maybe Vanira is gonna have a triangle over here, then Hotly is gonna have a triangle over here, and the city is gonna be worth 20 points or something. Yes, Raf, that's correct. So getting the champion right is more important. That's the main thing. So the second, third, and fourth place is the tiebreaker. But I do expect for more than one person to get the champion right, because there are really only this many teams that I think can realistically win the championship. So probably Team Japan, despite their new roster, has to be one of the favorites, and despite the round 1 loss. I can see Team Germany, Team China, Team Brazil, and of course Team Latvia. We lost the first 2 games, but we're kind of planning to win all the others, so let's see how that plan works out. And as you see, players are taking their time. No, our game is not frozen. So actually, Vanira took a very, very long time to decide which way to turn the city, and I kind of like that idea, because now I think Horim will be able to place this to cover up his city nicely, and then start a new city as well. And I think the reason... Oh, interesting. Yeah, and I'm already about to say that green take an advantage. Actually, this move was
Hi,
really.
Alexey.
Oh, hi Ruben. Yes, finally we have our special guest over here. So we have, probably you're able to hear, I think, let me just check if I have the sound properly. Yes, I do. Ruben Kocsis, the captain of
Yep.
Team Hungary, and also
Yep.
a very strong player. So you might be familiar with him. He has the screen name mosopal, and you've probably lost a game or two to him at some point if you are on Board Game Arena.
Thank you for introducing me, Alexey. I'm very happy to be here. And hi, everyone. Uh, so we're watching Hotly against Valeriana.
Yes.
Okay. So Alexey, did you do some statistics before? Do you have any prediction on how this?
Maybe, yeah, just some mental statistics, really. So, one is that Taiwan seems to outrate Team Chile with a couple of exceptions. So, the only pair where we have where Chile has the rating favorite is pair number 4, Diego Acevedo versus Sakura Kim. But in the other ones, it's actually quite close. So, table 5 is quite close. So I would really expect the match to finish 3-2 either way.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very close meeting, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm.
What are your predictions?
Mm, I was thinking that maybe Taiwan will won, but 3-2 also. But I did some statistics before, and it seemed to me that 3 of the 5 duels have already played more times before, and only one time. So the second table had a Bry against Eva. Has so on that table, Taiwan won 4 times against the Chilean player, and on table 5 and 6, they have never played before.
Uh-huh. Interesting. So with these, I usually look at the statistics beforehand as well. But when it comes to my own games, I've on multiple occasions like lost to somebody whom I've had 70% against, 88% against, like just many. Um, so of course these are significant, but it seems to me that these tournament games are somehow psychologically different than regular games. So I wouldn't be super
Yeah.
surprised to see some upsets here as well. In the meantime, we have an interesting closed position on the table brewing. So two interesting situations. First of all, many of the triple cities have come out, and it's already very cluttered. And this means that probably it's unlikely that red will be able to join this green city, and green will be able to build at the bottom around it. And so green will prevail in this mini battle of meeples. And now there's a critical moment in the game. So Hartley took. Oh yeah, that's it actually. I think we can call this game for green. Because what's going to happen is green's going to put this tile over here, block 3 meeples at the same time, and all the triple cities with the roads have come out, and that's all she wrote. I just cannot see really red being doing anything. So the thing is, it was a bit of a risky play with red, putting the second meeple on the same city, but there's always this dilemma because, okay, so if red just tries to continue the city, then green will able to join, but if red puts 2 meeples on the city, then green can start blocking 2 meeples at the same time. And I think in this situation what red should have considered is the large number of triangles and particular triple cities that have come out, and the large number of roads that are still remaining, and roads are perfect blocking tiles, as you can see. Yeah, so maybe a bit of a hasty decision. On the other hand, had the city been completed, then Hotley would be up for a victory almost, really. But, well, let's see. It's not completely over, so I think red can still win if green fails to draw the remaining tile that goes over here, the city cap with the crossroads. So it's a coin toss, and as we'll see, interesting decision not to meeple this. And yes, we see the green quite aggressively going after the empty city cap. So it seems to me that maybe red is not entirely comfortable psychologically, perhaps, after this block. It seems to be like a bit of a blow, because meepling a city here is a fairly standard move. Yeah, so far things are looking quite well for Team Chile.
I'm sorry, Alexey. Just a technical thing. I cannot see your screen, so the screen sharing may not work.
Oh, interesting. I'm just gonna try to do it again. Can you see it now?
Not really.
Interesting.
Well, maybe I can see your own. I don't know. So I can see just your name's letter, you know, on the center of the picture.
All right, then probably gonna forget about that. Maybe you can just open the game, you know, as you probably have in another tab or something.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Oh, we have many viewers already, even almost more than yesterday. Yes. Tell your friends. Also, remember to subscribe if you haven't already, because this really helps the algorithm. Also, the like buttons, just not only because they look nice and really not because of that, but it actually helps to get the stream to more people who are interested. So in the meantime, the game seems to have gotten quite quiet, and the players deliberate a lot, although we're gonna have a no-brainer move in just a second, with probably a meeple on the field despite a couple of blocking tiles. So if yes, that's the one I was about to say. So red gets a triple city, which immediately goes here. However, there's still one separated tile to save this, but overall the game seems to be like not super eventful, and will stay that way until some key tiles are drawn. For example, this tension is released and maybe something happens around the city. We shall see. So in the meantime, I think we have time to talk a little bit more. So Ruben, first of all, can you tell me how is Team Hungary doing at the moment in your group, and how do you feel about your championship chances?
Yeah, we have already done only one round, so we are over the first round, and we played against. Oh, I'm stupid. Just a moment. I'm a bit confused right now because you know, everything is against me, I feel. So Hungary played against Belgium, and we lost with only a little bit, but we felt very unlucky in the games. But it's always easy to blame the luck. However, I think we are getting better and better, and I hope that our next match against Catalonia tomorrow will be a win, and then we can go for the second or first place. That would be the best. I hope we can get to the, how to say in English, the second part of the championship.
The playoffs, yes.
The playoffs, yeah. Because last year it was just a tiny bit that we didn't make the playoffs, and yeah, the year before just a bit farther, and now I hope we will make it.
All right, yeah, well, best of luck with that. I can see somebody in the chat are quite happy about your loss to Belgium for understandable reasons. Yeah, and in the meantime, well, speaking about luck though, so Green drew the case city splitter to free up their meeple. They chose not to meeple the field just yet, although I would have done that. And in the meantime, a very nice 5-point tile for Red to renew the city, which is still live because there's still one more tile that goes over here, which means that Green will have to devote some attention to fully blocking it. However, with this monastery, many opportunities. You can grab a field or you can use a monastery, which I like more. For meeples, definitely whichever move is played needs to be played with a meeple. Okay, yeah, I like this idea with gaining the control. Another idea that could have been considered is that I usually like to cluster my monasteries together to put it up. And then now Vineria has an opportunity to really grab this field, and that actually was one of the considerations as well, because it's very often a common thing that you place a monastery in a prospective field so that you can later grab that field with tempo and add 1 point to your monastery. And this is exactly what Green did now with 2 dangerous city caps over here, and there are many city caps still left, so this field will likely become at least 12 points, or 15 if miraculous Red manages to close this. And there's also even 2 vertical city splitters still remaining, so this field could grow and grow and grow, which means that Red urgently needs to get meeples back. If Red wants to win this game, then this field looks like it is a must. So this is a nice long road, but where are the road finishing tiles? There is still 1 monastery with a road left, which of course Red would like to use somewhere else, but we have these 4 crossroads remaining, and a particular crossroads with a city cap that Red would like to draw just so that Green does not get it. And another way for Red to get the meeple back would be just completing this city from one of the city caps. Well, this, fortunately for Red, is quite likely to happen. But Ruben, so I was wondering, like, if you are severely behind in the game, like Red is right now, so what do you try to do to somehow turn this around? Like, if you were Red, which strategy would you employ to try and get some chances in this game?
Yeah, somehow I would urgently need some points. So yeah, get some meeple back. Yeah, the road, and there are plenty of tiles to get that back. Red can hope that it will come up early, and then try to get some quick points. Yeah, that's a closer, but still gave 3 points to Green. So,
well, yeah, 3 points and 1 connection spot to the field at least.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also if the field is getting bigger and bigger, then Red needs to attack it, I guess, to somehow. I don't know. Did you count the exact points right now on the table?
I have not. That's actually a good idea. Well, let's do that. So 5-3. So this is all tied. So this is all tied, but green has +3 over here, and green have +1 in this mini battle. So in this area, green has +4. However, oh, never mind. I think it's victory for green just because that's too much. It's just too many monasteries. So I think what green should really do now is to just like stop caring about this field whatsoever. So the worst thing that green can do is try and fight for the field. And excellent move by red. I like it. Unfortunately, it's not gonna save red just because green won the coin flip. Is gonna get a city. Not even gonna get that city. Although I like this option best. It's just many points. And I guess if red has to win this somehow, maybe even, that's probably one of the ways to sort of get quicker on that field. But the field is not going to be enough because Vainire is going to finish his monastery. And then meeple that city, I assume. I really can't imagine anything else. So probably this means that we should start looking at other games a little bit. I know that you were more keen on watching Diego's game. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. GDLK against Sakura Kim. The first game is already finished. It's quite tight, as I can see. Okay, so one match is already finished. Especially two matches already finished.
Interesting.
And let me see. So Imre Zatseng won one match against Tito Ars.
Alrighty.
Imre Zatseng. And Hate Brai lost his game against Ayeba.
So early lead for Taiwan in line with your predictions. Well, then that's interesting because I'm gonna have to maybe let Chilean players to think about time management because we barely started the stream, and then 2 Chilean players already lost the game. I don't know.
Yeah, both of the players had plenty of time left. So
yeah, that's what I expect. Anyway, everybody uses their time how they please, but as you see, Taiwan seems to me well, and you see like in this game, green, I think is playing quite well actually. I like what green is doing, even though green is also getting nice tiles. But after this block over here, it's really hard to recommend anything for red. And what just green is doing is keeping it calm and trying to keep the victory. I think let's just stay with this game until the end because it's only 14 tiles, and this allows us to talk a little bit. So I have a question to you about how do you perceive about the rules and Team Hungary generally, because I know that you, Ruben, you travel quite a lot. Ruben actually has a travel blog. I don't know if you are interested in advertising that, so
thank you. Thank you. It's well, I think it's better to put it in the chat.
Yeah, sure. Do you mind doing that? Because actually I've just I have many tabs open. Yeah, so feel free to do so. I read a few. It was very interesting to me because you've visited a bunch of places, and I think Spain was the most recent one that I've read about. But yeah, so the reason I'm asking is probably this means that you find yourself often in places with dubious internet connection, and so then how do you feel about the rule that if you lose on time, then you lose no matter what, and now lost internet connection is no longer considered a justification for running out of time.
Yeah. For the stream watchers, I was late because I found a place with very bad 4G connection, and I had to find another one. So I had to jump into the driving seat and go to find another place. So yeah, usually we are using, or we are living in more bases places. I don't know how to say it in English precisely. So we have some good places where I know that the internet connection is working well, and I have to work with internet, so I had to find these places. And when we have a match, then I usually some of that places. So yeah, but I have a backup internet connection on my phone, and but yes, I think it's the more changes, the changes which was made, I like them. The Hungarian team, I think most of them like them, like the changes, and there are some players that are not really in friendship with the new rules. But I think I really like that the time has changed to this 22 minutes for a player, because the main thing was to eliminate cheating with any script or counting. And if somebody does that in these circumstances, then the other player who is playing fairly have more time to do the same in his head. So I think it's a pretty good decision that was made by the organization.
Okay, yeah. So that makes perfect sense. I just wanted to remind our viewers that cheating actually in previous championships was a bit more common that one might expect. Especially, it's super common in arena. The main type of cheating is using automatic script that counts tiles for you, thus saving quite a lot of time. And so now that time is not such a pressing issue, is now that we're playing classical Carcassonne rather than rapid Carcassonne, speaking in chess terms, then if somebody were to cheat, then the advantage is not that severe. Actually, in the meantime, Hotley was playing pretty well, I think, managing to secure this connection with just continuing this road, also connecting with extra value, also what you want to do, waiting for the right tile, and then even blocking this green city so that green cannot connect. And it worked because green got the city cap. But unfortunately for red, there are just so many city caps still in the game that I don't know, there's just nothing left to do. And so now with this move, red will probably just have to score some 8 points with a monastery, because there's really nothing better, and just to remain without meeples until the end of the game. So in the meantime, has Diego finished by any chance? Oh, we're getting message from Edgar just in time that it's now tied. So Diego won and Maria won.
So GTLK, which match was tied? I'm sorry.
Oh no. Well, like overall the match is tied. So there were because Chile won 2 games and
yeah. So yeah, Chile, GDLK and Marfer won.
Right. Yeah. After this, I suggest that we go to GDLK and look at their game. I don't know. So our viewers, can you give us a vote? Shall we wait for the two remaining tiles, or shall we go to GDLK straight away? What do you prefer?
Well, oh, if you can see the match against GDLK, but I cannot get into the table. Ah, no, it's. I was trying to get into the table, but it said that the players doesn't want it.
Ah, well, maybe you were like trying to press join.
Yeah, no. I didn't. I was pressing to go to the table, but
Did
I
somebody
thought
block
maybe
you?
somebody. Yeah, I thought so, but but now it's open, so I don't know. Never mind.
All right, there's one tile remaining, just last move from Hotley,
Okay.
and Hotley will score 2 points extra for their city. Really like throwing, I think, a decent effort for a comeback, but there's only so much you can do after that strategic block.
Yeah, that was the key. Too much lost meeple in the beginning.
So the lesson from there, I think, is to, when taking such decisions, is to consider all possible tiles, like all the tiles that have been out, that are remaining, and just the fact that so many triangles and triple cities had gone out made it more likely for green to be able to complete the block rather than for the red to finish the city. And by the way, the difference, like, given the game situation, the difference is not that big. So like 18 points. So I don't know, with a couple of lucky tiles, maybe the red could have pulled it, but overall I think green played excellently to preserve their advantage. So I'm gonna update the score in a second, but now let's go to
GTLK.
yes. Oh, they actually are closer in rating than I thought, but I definitely know that GDLK had over 700 at some point last year. And
Yep.
I think they're the only Chilean player to have gained the rank of master, whereas I
He's
think
the only Chilean.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not sure about Taiwanese. I know Steven Chang had over 700 for sure, and I generally view like Steven Chang as by far the strongest player, with
And
Imlissa
there
being
was
the close second for me. What'd you say?
yeah, Steven Chang, Allen 5288. He was over 700, and Hotly was over 700 also, and Imlisa Tsengel as well.
Oh wow, so 4 masters in the team. That's actually quite a lot. So for me, like, Imlissa is the second strongest player, and for me, she's in a bit of an uncomfortable opponent. I think I do worse against East Asian players than I do against European players. And there's something about their style, like in really China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, really, and Malaysia. Well, Malaysia maybe to a lesser extent, but also Malaysia to some extent. They usually try a balanced approach, and they block much more often than most European teams, it seems to me, and they're much more willing to forego quick points. They're willing to forego, shielded tiles, just to have more blocking attempts. Of course, it's a simplistic view of this, but it's something less typical, so it can be a bit harder to play against.
Yeah.
So, Ruben, let's now make sense of this position.
Okay. So the points are good. So red has a monastery for 5 points, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A big road. Now it's closed, and there is a building field.
Yeah.
Now that monastery is blocked, I think red needs to go for the field
Yes.
somehow.
Well, actually,
And
red.
that's
I think red might even afford to go without the field, but on the previous move, red actually made really classic mistake. Basically, when your opponent controls a field, you don't build cities in your opponent field.
yeah,
So this tile should have been turned the other way.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
now, what red might achieve by accident is that red will make the field mandatory as a win condition, as opposed to had the city not been there, then Reds could have had the victory without the field whatsoever, because there was a mini battle going on. So this 6-point monastery versus this 9-point field, and Reds was able to afford that actually, because Red was quite far ahead on the scoreboard. But now Reds can't afford this anymore because the field is 12 points, and this is not going to be enough. Good news for Red. It's something that's inexplicable to me as well. I don't know what this move was about. Red, of course, should have immediately gone over here and created the threat of continuing their city. Like do you see what I mean? Like, this is such a beautiful triangle. You put it over here, and there's 3 of those. I don't know. So
yeah, and with this move, he created another blocking position.
yeah, exactly. And now all this hard work negated. The thing is, like, it's okay to let your opponents to connect to your city, but it's not okay to let your opponents to connect to your city easily. What should happen is that with this triangle, red would have created a threat, and then, red would have to put some roads over here, and then to block this eventually. Oh, interesting. And then oh, I love this connection by GDLK. So 2 connection spots, and one of them comes with extra value. Both of them very difficult to block. Probably green... Oh, no, I mean black will have control of this field, really. Not many connection spots. Preparing another juicy city. I don't know if you're reds, what you do. I guess you take a 6-point monastery.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why red doesn't like points apparently.
Yeah, they are playing very fast. Hard to follow.
And it seems to me that maybe like in Black's case it's a bit justified, because maybe Black's noticed that like he's having his game, and that if everything continues like this, Black is just gonna win. And so if they both make fast moves, that's just great. Then nobody gets to think, okay, at least now.
And now comes
But then the question, like, why not do the move before? Because that move didn't really accomplish much. I mean, it created a blocking platform for the city, but there are plenty of city caps left, so it's not just worth spending 4 points. But imagine had red placed this monastery over here, then red could have placed the second monastery on top of that and create this monastery cluster with these 2 corners. And these would be quite quick 9 points, which almost compensate for this 12-point field. So like, just red missed out on a chance on creating an alternative win condition, whereas opposed to now, it looks really like red's gonna need those fields, I guess. Yeah, and this would have been a 3rd monastery in the cluster, by the way.
Yeah, and lots of monasteries without maple. That's a lot of points thrown away.
Yeah. Well,
I know you were always meepling a monastery, but yeah, me too.
It's good to play that. So it really seems to me that Black is more or less in control of this. I am actually surprised not to see the meeple here, because, well, here's the thing. Wait. Yeah, so here's the thing. There are still three tiles that fit over here. So with this red meeple, this would already be 5 points for the monastery. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's still 3 more crossroads left, and so there's incentive to take the crossroads here, organically building up your monastery. Also, this small city over here would create a tiny ruin that you could take on your last move, like gaining some 4 or 5 points by adding 1 more point to the monastery as well. So it seems to me that there's some chances missed, but now it's a super interesting situation. So Sakura Kim decided to go really all or nothing. Well, there's still 2 tiles left, so with a 75% chance, but not really, because Black is going to engage in blocking. Black is going to try to block this, although I quite like this. That's one of the possible win conditions. Another possible thing that Red could have considered, just grabbing 4 points over here on the left, or Red could have separated over here, grabbed the city, and hoped for this tile that GDLK just got. And actually, I really, really like that move as well, because you can finish this little city over here, and then you can drop a 6-point field meeple with tempo upon the end. So yeah. So now, what would you do if you are Black, Ruben? So do you immediately react to the city by placing the city cap over here, or do you calmly finish your road?
I think I would react to the big city. Yeah, the same as GDRK did. I would have done that also, because I didn't count, but I think curves are still in the stack, so he can finish the road later. But if Sakura Kim finishes that city, I think that's more crucial. It's more important to block that city. If Sakura Kim finishes, what do you think? City, I think that.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. And now just placing the city cap, because it's also useful for your own field as well. And now Sakura Kim was going to be faced with a decision, right? So do they reduce the chances for themselves to 50%, but kind of prevent more deadly block? And that's what they did.
And what would you have done? Because I think I would not finish that city. I would put it one place to the right to passively block,
I disagree with that. You know why? Because then you get the same 50%. Then you're flipping for one of the 2 remaining these guys. So whoever gets this first, that person wins. But that also depends. Like, how would you turn? Would you turn it upwards or like sideways?
Up. I would turn it upwards.
In that case, but in that case, yeah, in that case, so there would be still this blocking tile remaining for Reds. There are no triangles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there was still a city splitter. Yeah, there were no city splitters. Okay, so that's interesting. But then the risk is that Red there are still more of these guys left, so Black would have scored for this city cap anyway.
Okay.
So it seems that now at least Red has the 50%, whereas before that it was less than 50, I think. But it's...
Yeah, so maybe this was the good decision.
But but I completely agree that actually the decision is not as straightforward. So you definitely need to spend a lot of time kind of looking at what kind of tiles are remaining, what are the blocking tiles, what are the saving tiles, and I don't think 10 seconds was enough to figure that out.
Yeah.
By the way, Black now kind of makes a classic sort of move to put extra protection for his
Yes, securing the field.
fields, and this is in a I can't what is Black doing? So Black is trying to give chances instead of, so Black chose to take 3 points over here instead of taking 2 points and actually blocking Reds, but okay. Again, both players super fast, which is great for streamers, you know, because we get to view more games.
In the meantime,
Yeah. So Sakura Kim chose not to fight for the fields, apparently just accepting their defeat. Because I think at this point, if Sakura Kim gets their city, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna have enough points? Unfortunately, we're never gonna find out because GDLK won the coin flip. But actually, that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. So 14 instead of 0. So that would have been 11 plus 3. 11 plus 6. Okay, so let's look at the end of the game. Red would have had 17 points more. And let's see, would 17 more points have been enough for Red to win this game? 17 points would have been actually just enough. So what Red was trying to do is just simply connect these fields and getting all these guys together so that Black doesn't score twice for these cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems to me so the game really did come down to this tile actually. So it was a valiant attempt to create this kind of win condition for Reds. Like when Red was behind. The only thing is like Red maybe could have avoided, getting behind by just holding on to their early advantage. And I think Black managed to play with the fields really well. First of all, having this connection with extra value, and second, dropping some insurance as well. All right, and this is the first big point for Chile, because it is the second game that Diego has won.
Yeah. I was checking in the meantime, and I think it's 2-1 to Chile.
Oh, already? So who else won?
Let me see. Ayaba against HT Bry and Marfer against Wagonzi.
So lots of 2-0 scores.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I guess we need to look at the decider, right? Between Tito and Imlisa.
Yeah. And Hotly is also in game.
Oh, really?
Or isn't he?
Oh, yeah, probably. So they're still playing against Horim, but I just figured that we had a look at them. I don't know.
Yeah. See.
So
the other thing I was checking before is that Chilean players are more into real-time games on BGA, and Taiwan players are more into the turn-based games.
Ah, I see. Actually, I didn't consider that. But this
so
gives...
maybe that's a bit of more practice for the Chilean. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely that's a bit of an advantage. In part, well, who's into these correspondence games? I mean, I think many players just find them a little bit like taking too much of your life, really, because then you're just playing Carcassonne 24/7. But yeah, sure. But the thing is, as a result of that, I think the ratings of Taiwanese players might be a bit bloated because you can get a lot of rating for those games if you're really dedicated to them, if you pay lots of attention, if you never quit, because lots of these games are won by default. Yeah, and so, for example, the player who I think is number one on Board Game Arena, actually, Carcassonne, I think is the screen name, although I unfortunately don't know this person's real name as they do not participate in the World Championships, which is a shame. They actually play a lot of these.
Real time?
No, correspondence games.
Okay.
How is it called? Turn-based, yes.
Turn-based,
I'm just
yeah.
using the chess terminology.
Yeah, and if you play a lot of simultaneously, then if you win all of them, you can rise like a rocket with your ELO points.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, I like the decision of Red over here to not save their city, deciding correctly that it was not salvageable because now it's going to block. So instead, Red is actually trying to finish this other city. I'm not sure how I feel about this meeple over here. Just because Red is about to lose a lot of value, Red needs a city cap and a city cap only to play a productive move, or maybe any city tile just to continue the city over here. But as soon as Red gets a curve or a crossroads, then these are 4 points instantly lost. So, and also there were 2 city caps, actually 3 city caps on the field anyway. Well, luckily for Tito, they get the city cap, but was it really necessary to put a meeple over here when Tito could have just taken these points? And now instead, well, I guess Tito will have to make this point vulnerable because they need meeples.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alexey. It's really hard to follow because when you say this or here or that, I don't know what you're.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm gonna be try very descriptive with my words because I've sometimes rewatched my videos and realized that sometimes I move the mouse a little bit too fast. Also, I followed some of your suggestions and tried kind of larger pointer apps. They don't seem to be work as well with OBS, well with the streaming software, but I'll consider some other options as well. By the way, a very good move here from Black, recognizing that there's nothing left to fill the hole next to Red City on the right of the map, and so foregoing 2 quick points from the monastery, or foregoing 6 monastery points to complete an important strategic objective of not letting Red finish their city. And now it actually looks not great for Reds, really. So what they need to do to win. First of all, Red needs to draw one of the 2 remaining T-shaped crossroads to put over here in this T-shaped hole for the connection. If it happens close to the last move, then it might be with a field meeple, so that you connect through one of the remaining 2 curves. If it happens closer to the ending, closer to where we're now, maybe just take 2 points and wait for a better moment. So that's a must, just because this field is 15 points. And actually, I think it's if Red manages to preserve the field, then their chances are quite nice, because there's this nice 6-point road, there's this 9-point city. Now I assume Tito's gonna go here with the block, right? Okay. Not sure about that, but maybe they know better.
Yeah, and Tito would need to expand his city on the left to build it more and more bigger.
That sounds like a good strategic objective. I just think we don't really have the tiles left for that.
Maybe it's not that bad, not that good, because Imlizatsenk has more meeples and he can grab the city and equalize it if Tito expands it.
Yeah, I agree. But then, close to the game, there might be just not enough connectional tiles left. And I think this move over here, this cap over here, might have cost Tito the game. I think it was imperative to actually try and block, because there were so many city caps remaining. Instead of just adding 2 points to your city and not changing its security in any way.
So in Tito's place, you would have closed the road.
I would have
for
closed
4
the
points.
4-point road over here.
Yeah,
That was
and
just super
Imlizatsenk
important.
got the crossroads.
Yeah, and now it's just it. Now also Melissa has a nice field over here, and oh, okay, so there were 4 city. No, I mean that's was really it. Yeah, quite unfortunate. Well, the good news for Red is that Red is actually going to get. Oh no! There were now T-shaped crossroads remaining anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
It's 2-2, and the decider is still going.
Oh,
Vaineria.
So my prediction came true. That is going to be 3-2 in somebody's favor.
Yeah.
But yeah. So far, I think all the rating favorites seem to win.
Well,
Maybe
on the second.
Huh?
On the second table, the Ayaba won with lower elo.
Oh, lower, really?
Yeah, on the Taiwan
Oh
team.
yeah. Brian, actually, I remember them from the match against Latvia, Lithuania. They were a solid player and put up quite a fight against our player with a screen name Ludeselis.
Okay.
Well, as you said, Red did expand their city by exactly 1 point. So they're listening to your advice.
Maybe they are listening to the stream.
Well, yes. Well, maybe at the very least, Tito won that one previous game and lost lost 1-2 instead of 0-2, which means that Team Chile is getting some important tiebreakers. Nope, not that kind of hotly. By the way, it's never mind. As a result of the previous, it does look. Oh, what? Huh? Interesting.
A big city for green, a big field, and yeah, if green finishes,
yeah,
it's a good situation for red. That if green finishes the city, then he will get into the big field.
And we will let red into the big field. That's actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think just green made a crucial mistake. Why this road is not as important as this monastery, and so red could have just placed the meeple on the road and then tied the red's road. Now red's road is completely secure. And well, I guess now red will need to place here. And then okay, so red will need to place here. No, not now. So basically, here's what needs to happen for red to win, for green to somehow win this. Is that first of all, yes, this block is important, but this is not so much a block as creation of a field connection. But you don't have enough meeple. You need to get points elsewhere, and there's not many places how you can get points. So you do this, and then later you try to join, because now this doesn't really give much, just because well, red has this connection option anyway, which of course green will need to eliminate immediately over here. Yeah, and then actually if green manages to connect over here, then green will win. I mean, I can see the value of this move. It just seems to me that red might still have opportunities to reconnect to this field anyway. Well, I'm curious to see what happens. So what's your take, Ruben? Like, what could green do to turn this around?
I think I was unable to follow your reasoning, but I wouldn't meeple that field in green's place, because his meeples are pretty hard to get back, I guess, right now. And if so, I really usually I afraid to put my last meeple in situations where I can not get back my meeples in a few turn.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just so hard to get for green to get his meeple back. And now just green did something inexplicable to me. If you're gonna play this field game, if you're gonna put everything on your field, like, it's just imperative that you immediately block this city, because now what's gonna, oh wait, yeah, but what could have happened, like, imagine if red got the city cap. Well, red could have just immediately finished the city and then drop a field meeple and just neutralize this guy.
Okay, Warren, Vainyara got the
dilemma. Yes,
yeah.
dilemma. Well, actually, you just have to be you just have to calculate the points. Well, the positive thing for Ranier is that they're going to be getting a meeple back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they will be getting with this move plus... well, they will be giving meeple back to red as well.
Yeah, but maybe in this situation, he still have more points than Hotly. So, 19...
Actually, it's exactly the same. Because it's plus 15 minus 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm including the fact that this city is going to get completed, and that's why they chose not to do that. Interesting. So they just want to win this.
Would you close the city?
Well, I wouldn't have done like a bunch of other things, but probably not. No. I think. But then how does green win? Well, I guess, like, it's a really good mini battle to have if you think about it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 versus, like, 11 and the meeple versus 3. That's actually very nice. So it's plus 8 over here. Actually, so this means that Vanir is only at minus 8, but there's this 9 thing. Actually, you know what? Like, green is not that far behind, really.
Yeah.
Green just needs meeples. Wait, why did green not complete this road? Green had the tile. Like, I think that hoping for the city is too ambitious. Like, it's gonna get blocked somehow, and it's not just that important for the win condition. Yeah, that's it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the road.
No. Yeah.
Like, don't try to save the city. Take the
and
road.
maybe one. Yeah, he cannot put one meeple. I was trying to say that he could get one meeple to the field for 6 points, maybe, but.
Yeah, well, after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, you really need meeples. You need to take points. You need to score 3 points over here when you're going to connect. You need to do all kinds of things. I think just it was all overdue.
Maybe he's thinking to save that city on the left.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I don't.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh gosh, that's such a waste. Like, 'cause the thing is, like,
And now
you don't do passive defense if they're blocking tiles. So this is just fantastic for red. They're gonna take 2 points and then gonna block, and
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and green didn't make any point.
Yeah, that's just a heavy loss. I think maybe green is like actually underestimating the number of points they have. Like I don't think it was a win condition at all to finish this city.
Yeah, and red is getting points every turn.
Exactly.
Now we can, yeah. Now maybe the field will be enough.
Not sure about that. Well, it is actually 15 points.
15 plus the big city and the big road. But red has a big road as well.
Possibly even bigger road when it completes. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think it was so important to close this road just so that red has more new meeples to do new stuff. So I guess red would no, green. Green would need to take care of this 6-point field. Unfortunately, there's only one road ending tile left, but it's more than 0. So I guess I'd somehow meeple that field, like right now, even though it's your last meeple, doesn't matter. It's gonna be an important field, and then hope for the monastery, and then I would use road tiles to continue my road, and I would use city tiles to block red's monastery. So something like this. Because the good news for green is that red needs curves in 2 places. Red needs to curves to complete a monastery, and red needs a curve to complete a road. But I think it's essential to take this field right now, and yes, I'm advocating to spend green's last meeple. Yeah.
And now he's taking the field, yeah.
Just because there was this huge risk of red completing his monastery and immediately dropping a field meeple there. Now, yeah, just continue.
Yeah, he can build a road and a field.
Yeah,
at the same time.
Create, exactly. That would be a good idea. Well, so the thing is, like, actually, I think, yeah, had green stopped being married to this city, they would be in a winning position now already.
Now he has a 9-point field, a 15-point field, and a 6-point field, which is 30 points.
That's 30 field points. Yeah, that's actually a lot. So that's really 62. That's plus 17. Then these two guys are equal. Then the roads are 7 versus 5. So it's plus 2 but minus 2. Everything is equal. So actually, green is at plus 9 now, if I counted correctly. So then what was the point in dreaming about this city? Anyway, I just can't get over it. Like, it's usually there's this story by Alexander Pushkin. Well, I think it may have like be a folk story, but he just later sort of wrote it into a longer story. It's about a goldfish and like an old lady who finds the goldfish, except that the goldfish has gives unlimited wishes, and so she just keeps ordering more and more and more, and then at the end she decided to be queen of the sea, you know, after like being a millionaire, and so the fish decided, you know what, like, not gonna happen. Yeah. And then the fish just decided to restore to just like undo all the wishes. And so the old lady finished up with where she started just because she wanted everything. And I think this is very often the case in Carcassonne. Like, if you don't identify your win condition and you fight for every field, you want to complete every city, then you just end up, you know, losing the game somehow.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that we're actually quite close to that situation. So, wait, 7. Yes. It's going to be... Is it plus 2 for red now? I think red might have won by just like a couple of points. I'm okay. I'm silly. How did that happen? How did I miscount so badly? Green won. Chile won. That's pretty cool. Ruben, did you expect that? I'm not sure. Oh, okay, so maybe Ruben dropped out for a while. It seems to me, maybe, but we are continuing, right? I'm still live. There's nothing wrong with us. Anyway, congratulations to Jorim and congratulations to Chile. Oh, we see Ruben.
I'm sorry.
First of all, yeah, great. We actually have you on camera now for the first time, I think. I don't know if you were aware of that, but we just had your sound. Anyway, yeah. So everybody can see our special guest. Let me make you larger. Did you see the ending, Ruben?
No, because my battery went down in my computer.
Yeah, so green won. Actually, I had miscounted the points a little bit because I think when counting the points, I might have forgotten the city or something. And I don't remember. Yeah. I think I literally forgot the big city, and as a result of that, even these monasteries were not enough. So actually, massively interesting game. And maybe actually this move turns out was necessary. Maybe that was just this field was so important that it was necessary to go there. The only thing I still think this was like way too risky because you see, green ended up doing just fine without the field. But yeah, very spectacular achievement actually. And Chile pulling off a bit of an upset, 3-2, just as I predicted, although I didn't say who won. So congratulations to Chile, especially well played, and to Jorim in particular. And speaking of predictions, just gonna remind you that if you want this limited edition, well, not this, I have one that's like neatly packed. It's the one I have for myself. This limited edition. I don't know if it's limited edition anymore. It might be mass-produced. The 20-year anniversary edition of Carcassonne, sent to the address of your choosing. You gotta predict the winner of this championship, and you gotta predict the first, second, third, and fourth place. So the person who predicts the winner gets the game with all these, I don't know, I think nicely designed tiles. And there's like a special 20-year anniversary tile, which is like double-sided. Yeah, so I quite like that design. So basically, if you wanted that shipped to your address, then you gotta predict the winner of this championship, and the tiebreakers are if you predict the second, the third, and the fourth place in this championship, and the final tiebreaker is if all our viewers are very good at predicting, then the person who wins the prediction game is the one who submits their prediction earlier. And remember, we have time from now until the end of the group stage to submit your predictions, and you can do this by commenting either on stream or preferably on any of the videos on my channel. I will see the comment, and the comment will be timestamped. Just make sure to not include any links in your comment, because otherwise your comment might be blocked automatically. Right, let me update this score in the meantime and check our chat. So, well, just curious. Ruben, so who do you think would be the most likely teams to win in the championship?
Well, I haven't thought about it before, but I think there are some really strong teams, and I wouldn't be able to how to say who will win, but Japan is not that I don't know. I haven't seen them playing, but all of the big names have been disappeared from the team right now. So I wouldn't say Japan because Japan always win. But now I would say Romania or Brazil is also very strong. Germany, but lots of strong teams, and it's really hard to say who will win. And what do you think?
Well, obviously my first pick would be Latvia. Yes, despite our first 2 losses, but actually I have to say with Romania and Brazil in particular, like it feels that they have lots of new players, so they have 4 masters, actually 5 masters. Yeah, they have 5 masters on their roster, so they can line up 5 masters in one game. That's incredible. I would have to say, yeah, really mostly Brazil, Romania. There are a couple of teams that are maybe a bit overperforming in the sense that, well, United States won Japan, that's something. And I'd say Belgium winning Hungary, that's also was a bit unexpected. So I'm be very curious to see how those teams progress. And speaking about that, actually tomorrow I will be streaming the game of the US against the Netherlands, so make sure to join. You can see the starting time of the game on the Carcassonne Cat website and then in the add to the stream as well. Alrighty, let me just see if I have any more questions in the chat. Yes, Daniel, I will ship it to the address of your choosing at my expense. So just I just really hope that somebody who's not living in Antarctica will win the prediction game, but if so, so be it. Alrighty, then I guess we're gonna wrap up. Thank you very much, Ruben, for joining me. I hope we can continue with this. It was great talking to you, and
Alexey.
best of luck to Team Hungary in.
And to you, Team Latvia.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. All right.
You too.
Gonna say goodbye to our viewers. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.